Welcome to this Burst Blast instructional video brought to you by Agile Dragon Group. To see this video and others, join the Dragon Den. Remember, Infor Burst, it's all we do.
In this lesson, we're going to learn about and work with tables. In Birst, there are two types of table. One is called a table, the other is called crosstab. A table is simply a collection of columns that display data. Tables can also be grouped, which we'll demonstrate in this lesson. And the second kind of table is called crosstab. Some of you may know crosstab as a pivot table. A crosstab will allow you to show data in both rows and columns. Both of these chart types are accessed in the same location where you change your chart type. Just search for a table or crosstab within that list. Here's a very simple example of a table of data. We have 4 columns of data in this table: year, city, customer name, and net amount. You'll notice that there's an up and down arrow in each of the columns, and that allows you to sort by that particular column. There is also a curved down arrow, which allows you to break by or group by that particular column. In this image, we're showing that same table, but we have grouped by or broken by the column of year. I simply clicked the down arrow of year and chose break by. What that does is it rolls up that table to each individual year and also provides a sub-summary, or in this case, a subtotal of each individual section. Now, crosstabs allow you to show data in both rows and in columns. This is an example of a crosstab from the same table that we saw in the previous slide. You'll notice that in rows, we're showing data for both city and for customer, and in the columns, we're showing the data of year. We also now get more sub-summaries that in our demo, I'll show you how to turn on and off. When you're building a crosstab, you simply drag and drop the columns that you want to display in either rows and column section in the ribbon. You will also, of course, need a measure to make the crosstab work properly. So simply just drop a measure into the measure section of the ribbon. There are also various table settings. The table settings are handled from the icon at the top of your screen that looks like a table. One thing to point out here, and I will show this in our demonstration, is the sub-summaries we can turn on and off. And also, if you watched our lesson on chart formatting, there's also table formatting, and I'll create another video that goes into more detail about table formatting. So let's take a look at this in a demonstration. I'm going to navigate myself to Birst, and I already have Visualizer opened up where I'm going to start building just a simple table of data. Now I'm going to go to the chart picker over here on the right-hand side, and I'm going to search for table and simply click table. Now, when I click on table, what you'll notice is that this ribbon will change because I've chosen a table instead of a column chart. So when I select table, notice that it's just telling me to add attributes or measures. So I'm going to recreate what we saw in the slides. So I first want to search for, I think it was quantity. Well, let's just use quantity ship. I actually don't think that's what was on the lesson, but that's okay. We also had year. I'm going to drag that into the columns. We also had city. Drag that into, and we also had customer name. I'm going to drag that into the column section. Okay, so now I have customer name, city, and year. I can move the columns around. You'll notice if I hover on a column, I see these dots. If I just drag and drop that, I can move the year column first. Maybe I want city to be next. So I'm just dragging and dropping. And you can also do that by dragging and dropping on the left-hand side. So this is just a very simple table of data. Now notice that here's my up and down arrows. If I click that, I can change my sorting behavior, ascending and descending, And if I click a third time, it remains unsorted. So I can do that for any column that I want. And now we also talked about how I can group or take a table of data and break it into sections. So if I want to group by year, I'm going to use the circular or the curved arrow. I'm going to click on it and I'm going to say break by. And once I do that, it simply breaks the column by that particular value. Now, that was fairly simple. So I'm just going to undo that last change. And now let's switch this chart to a crosstab. So I'm going to go back over here to the visualization changer. I'm going to click crosstab. And now it's made some assumptions for me. It said it wants year and customer name in the rows section. And in the column section, I have city. It's not quite what I want. I actually want my year to be the column. So I'm simply just going to drag year to the column section. And I'm going to drag city back up to the rows section. Okay, and just by a few drag and drop, I am able to change this table into a crosstab and start controlling what I'm looking at, or the order in which I'm seeing my columns. Once again, I can drag and drop these fields to change their order. It does get a little finicky. Let's see if that works. There we go. So now I have customer 1001. We've shipped to these particular cities, and I can see my sub-summaries. Now, some of the table properties that we discussed are up here. So I can lock column headers, I can lock row headers. Here's my sub-summaries, how I can turn them on and off. So if I turn off my sub-summaries, now what I can see is I just see row summaries or grand totals for both each individual row, and then down at the bottom, I see grand totals. And as a quick preview, remember that charts have formatting, so do tables. And if you use your paintbrush icon, here at the top, I will see table formatting where I can start making adjustments to my tables. I'll make another video that goes into more details about the table formatting. So I hope you return back here and take a look at more videos that we create for you in the future.
Like this video? See it and others like it in the Dragon Den. The Dragon Den is Agile Dragon Group's free Birst community and knowledge base. Just follow the QR code on your screen and apply for access. I look forward to seeing you in the den. Have a good day.